Alrighty, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is I'll name this segment later. GTG spits that grease, so on and so on. Title forever in the works. So, if the video title has not given me away yet, we're gonna be talking about Keemstar, Becky Boop trying to recreate / copy Frenemies. That's that show that Ethan Klein and what is her name? Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas had and whatnot that was wildly popular, and why at least the Keemstar Becky Boop rendition, let's call it that, let's try to be generous, is going to fail. So before I do that, season 5 of Call of Duty is actually dropping today. I'm recording this on August 7th, as well as Battlefield drops today. Looking forward to at least the Battlefield part. We'll see how the Call of Duty part go. I gotta tell you, real quick, for some of these guys who play Call of Duty, mainly some of these Warzone guys, not all of them, but some of these Warzone guys, these Warzone streamers, they're gonna have a real tough time, especially since Battlefield's cracking down on DS4 loadouts and scripts and all that stuff. Battlefield's really taking that shit seriously, and there's a debate going on right now whether the Battlefield community is trying to gatekeep the Call of Duty community, which is, I don't think so, but that's all on a matter of perspective. But I will say this, what's that guy's name? Repulse. You know him, he's that that funny looking guy with the glasses who's hopping around with all these Warzone streamers. He's gatekeeped quite a few people out of Warzone. So maybe, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander in that situation. But we'll see. But I don't think it's the case. I think you're just going to find that some of these Call of Duty guys, these Warzone guys in particular, are not going to take well to the game early on, and they're going to need some time and adjustments to figure shit out. There's a real learning curve with Battlefield if you've never played it before. And if you're coming in, bunny hopping, all that silly shit that we do over here in COD, you're going to find out real fast that's not how it works. Speaking of which, real quick, I'm hoping, man, that we see like Medal of Honor like make a return, like a real push. You know what I'm saying? I hope so. I hope that's a thing, because we need more competition out there. The more the better. Anywho, now for what we're actually talking about. Keemstar is trying to recreate Frenemies with Becky Boop. It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail for a lot of reasons. Let's go ahead and talk about why Frenemies, the Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas version, worked. One, they both had wildly large audiences, right? Two, they had audiences that didn't like each other. Like, they didn't like their respected, you know, patron, if you will, or the opposite, or the opposing patron, if you will. And three, their hatred and vitriol was real. Like, there was real animosity in that shit, and they made it funny. You have Trisha getting her shots in on Ethan, while at the same time trying to run defense and trying to be civil, because as you know, Trisha ended up marrying Ethan's wife's brother, so there was that. And for Ethan, he was getting his frustrations out and taking his shots, but at the same time, he realized that Trisha made some decent points, maybe even some good points, I argue to say. I didn't watch a lot of it, to be honest with you, so I'm telling you all this from other people that are in my vicinity who did watch it and whatever. And the little bit I have seen were just those viral clips. And like I said, there was real animosity there. There was real heat there. You know what I'm saying? There was real frustration there, right? So it came out, and it came out well. It made entertaining content. They were willing to work with each other on certain stuff. Now, obviously, what caused it to break up was the power dynamic, the money dynamic, and all that. Ethan's like, it's, you know, I was putting up all the money. It's my, you know, it was my essential idea and project and whatnot. I brought you in. You're a co-host. You're not a co-owner. So on and so forth. The reality is the same problems that ended up killing Frenemies is going to end up killing this rendition or whatever the hell that Keem and fucking Becky Boop have going on. Now, with that being said, Frenemies for its time was wildly popular. Not only because they had both of those audiences. They had Trisha Paytas' audience and Ethan Klein's. But the drama community and the tea community and some of the commentator community was deep in there, baked in. They didn't have to go out there and try to get them like what Keemstar tried to do with the DSP detractor community and the Wings troll community. All of that was kind of like it was really just icing on the cake, if you will, but that was really kind of built in, to be honest with you. And I think that's one of the problems that Ethan overlooked. He took for granted exactly how much attention, not influence, not viewership, but how much attention that Trisha could actually bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? I think he really took that for granted. But semantics, you live and you learn. Anywho, for Keem and Becky don't have any of that. Keem and Becky don't have any of that. Trisha's a multi-millionaire, for better or worse, despite all those dragon fucking dildos and shit. But that was pre-marriage, so I guess that don't mean nothing. For those of you who know, you know. But the point is that Trisha and Ethan are millionaires. Keem's a millionaire. Well, they're multi-millionaires. Keem's a multi-millionaire, but Becky ain't. You know what I'm saying? So from the money standpoint, Keem's gonna have all the cards anyway. He's gonna control the whole shit. He has all of it. She's just a fucking co-star, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So there's the money dynamic. As it pertains to influence and whatnot, like that, I would say Keem's influence is weighing, to be honest with you, outside of the LCU. Becky doesn't have any because she sold her ass and her soul to go ahead and go back to Lol Cow universe recently, and it turned out to be a gay op and whatnot. You could thank pedophile behind the camera and Keemstar for fucking her over on that shit. Actually, ironically enough, now that I think about it, Becky Boop got fucked over, not to the same extent, but kind of. She kind of got fucked over in the same way that Review Tech USA did. They plotted on her ass and then they pulled the trigger on her publicly and embarrassed the fuck out of her. That's what happened to fucking Review Tech. That's what happens when you're a lol cow, though. People don't treat you like people. You're not equal to anybody. You're just a lol cow. Anyhow, so after Becky sat there and threw away most of her audience, now she's just stuck with her core audience, which is essentially her actual base, which is essentially the bottom of the barrel. And most of them, as it pertains to their faith in her, their resolve, if you will, has been shaken, because she'll sell them out for what, $1,200, or no, it was $2,500, whatever the fuck it was. She sold herself cheap, which is what you expect from a lol cow. So she did herself dirty. She did herself extremely dirty and fucked up her fucking image, which yet again adds to Keem's fucking power dynamic. On top of that, neither one of you guys, meaning Keemstar and Becky, are nearly as funny as Ethan and Trish are. You're not the entertainers that you two think you are, and you'll never be able to compare to them. And that's why Keem and Becky want to do this in the first place. You guys couldn't come up with something original, so you're just trying to take the place of something that's been missing for a couple years. And in truth, you're going to probably fail at it more than likely. Actually, I know you will. It's not going to be nearly as popular as you think it is. Maybe within the LCU, I guess. But outside of that, neither one of you guys have the appeal, the pull, none of it. On top of that, the sunny point number 3, you guys are liars. Not to say Ethan and Trisha aren't liars too. They've lied plenty of times throughout the years, for those of you who know, you know. But you and Becky, Keem and Becky, let's say that, you're both liars. You're massive fucking liars. You're known to lie for content. That's not what Frenemies was. That's not how that was based. That's not how it was formatted. You guys may go ahead and have your little fake fucking whatever. Well, I think you guys actually have some kind of, not animosity. I think you two just got some frustrations between the two of y'all. I don't think it's nearly as sexual as Becky tried to make it seem. I'll try to put a clip in here, or so I'll have someone do it, where Becky's sitting there bouncing around, acting like her and Keem just need to go ahead and fucking whatever, which they kind of do need to do. But the reality is that at the end of that, it's probably both of you are going to probably walk away with regrets. So maybe you guys shouldn't do that. The truth is, though, is there's nothing really between the two of y'all.
Yeah.
He's got a thing for you too.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it later. I'll tell you about it later.
He watches the restream. I've always said, like, he has a thing for Savage, sort of like he has a thing for me, but it's a little different with Savage. But I feel like he's got something there. There's like an interest, you know, like he never went fully mean with you.
Mm-mm.
And he does with everyone.
Loud stuff.
Yeah, like look at what he's doing with. Oh, Maggie, you gonna make mommy look like I neglect you again with you shaved fryer tucked back, baby. You're the king supreme, Maggie. His name is Magic. I always call him Maggie. Hi, honey. All right, donut train song. Keem donated to Roxy.
What?
Keem.
What do you mean?
My fly army is assembling. Excuse me. I'm running a whole network. I should get 100 per host. And the note should say, I'm proud of you. You did such a good job improving my business model, Becky. I've learned new things. What's up? What's up, Gemini?
Bitch, where's my redirect?
Well, it's in, but we're running a little long.
You know what happened if you did this shit in local, bitch?
Good thing I'm not in local, bitch. Good thing I'm the boss, and you're a bad
I'm gonna
little
sabotage your fucking
bad
show.
You already sabotage it every time you show your face. Uh-oh.
You sabotage every time you show your fat tits, ham hat
Keem is
looking bitch.
Wait, Keem
What's calling you for?
Oh my God, wait. Hello? I'm on stream. You're on air. I'm on stream. Call ended. Ooh.
Busted. King, what you doing? What you doing, Keemstar? What you doing, Keemstar?
Shit.
Oh.
He called you on air? I'm dead.
All I know is he texted, he wrote, fuck me. It's about time, Keemstar. Yes, please. When and where?
What?
I don't know what just happened over with Roxy, but he said after he hung up, he's like, fuck me. Maybe he probably called me by mistake or something. But Keem, oh my God, I've been waiting to hear
God,
those.
here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I've been waiting.
All out.
Becky!
They're okay, Keem. I have been waiting for so long to hear you say that. You know, if we had only hate fucked, we would be like king and queen, ruling an empire.
Oh my God.
Hate fuck time, hate fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
That was
Jesus.
hilarious. Well, guess what,
Keemstar just called
Savage?
Becky.
Savage, I guess he came on my panel too. Oh, of course he wants to come on my panel.
Jesus, help me. Fix it, Lord.
What is wrong with
Jesus,
me?
take the wheel.
I'm
losing control over here.
I'm taking a screenshot that he said, fuck me. I should post that on Twitter and just be like,
you
okay.
You should text back and say when and
Oh
where.
God, he's calling. Oh God. He probably watched
Answer
me.
it.
Oh no, he probably watched me say all that. Oh God.
Answer it.
Keem, hi, you're on air.
Are you working with Mike?
What? No.
Why is Gidgy saying you're working with Mike?
Maybe because Gidgy's retarded?
Dude, I was just in Roxy's channel and I was like trying to get information from her and she's acting suspicious. What the fuck is going on?
Why? Wait, so I heard people in my chat were saying that you think Roxy is working with Mike?
I don't know what's happening.
What do you know that we don't? Why are you thinking this?
I swear to God, I will fuck every single... Not like that either, psycho.
Shut up. He heard me. Keem. There is such an easy solution. An easy solution, Keem, to all of this. You know, I'm about to do the donut train song. Just a little glaze, a little hate glaze for that donut. You know, I got 2 donuts.
Something's going on.
It would fix everything. Am I wrong?
Something's going on here.
Call Keem.
Gidgy is an idiot. I know, right, Teresa? Nipple about to pop out.
Keem, are you doing all of this? Like when you hung up before, you wrote fuck me. Are you sure you're not doing this because you want to hate fuck and you're just using this as an excuse to talk to me?
Well, I would like to call you in private and ask you about the mic shit. And then when you said you're streaming, then I realized, oh my God, now people are going to fucking think that I'm working with you because I'm calling you live on stream. So I said, fuck, because I didn't want anyone to know that I actually called you. But now everyone knows I fucking called you. And ultimately, dude, ask me this. Why is Thick Gemini donating to Aussie? Why are you in the Aussie chat?
Oh, Gemini, did you hear that? Why are you donating to Aussie? He's going to answer.
Read the donation.
You're
I was
not-
telling Pupstar to come over to our network if she got fired again.
He said he was telling Pupstar to come over to our network if she got fired again. I didn't know that. I don't poach Keem. Bad Gemini.
Okay, well, I just find it strange that you and Gemini are in the Aussie chat and Mike manages Aussie now.
Becky, you
Becky
weren't in
wasn't
their
in the
chat.
chat. That was
well,
me.
no.
I did a whole pirate thing in there Friday night.
I was
So
in
did.
the last time I was in Aussie chat, it was before Mike was managing it, I think. And I just saw Tina say her stupid what's up because she doesn't even pay attention to the show. She just writes what's up. So I was like, let me see if I'm blocked here. And I just added her and I added her and said, Tina, you suck. Because I wanted to fuck with her. And then everyone cried to ban me. I don't hang out over there.
Why you got him up there? Ask him about the
Okay,
corsets.
fine.
What's he think?
Wait. Keem, Savage had a question for you. She wanted to know what you think of the corsets.
They look lovely.
Thank you, Keem. Talk to you later in private. My heart be still. Oh my God. Finally. I just have to lock down when and where. And you know what? He decided to call right when my boobs look perfect, too. What is that? This? Gemini's out of here. What?
Patting him around like a cat.
It's like an ocean. It's like I'm juggling.
You know what cats do? They play with their prey before they eat it.
Is that
Before we eat his head.
Is Keem playing with me or am I the cat and he's playing with my pussy? Sorry, I can't. Donation time
Okay.
is long time. Wait, okay.
For all we know, everything that you guys have been beefing about is just false bullshit. Now, I've seen enough of what's going on in those discords to know that there's obviously some problems between y'all, but you'll never be able to translate that into something feasible and something as successful as Frenemies. It's never going to happen. Not outside of the LCU. It's not going to work. The reputation in about the LCU and everything adjacent to it is it's all staged, it's all fake, it's all bullshit. That's not what people want to come there for, to be honest with you. That's not what that is. You know what I'm saying? Frenemies wasn't some weird ass reality show. It was two people who really didn't like each other, but who came together for profit. I understand where you and Becky think you guys fit into that archetype, but it won't work. And that's the reality of it. That's why and here I can prove to you why that's not going to work. That's why Keem wants her to go back and rebuild her base, rebuild her audience, so then they can finally do it. Well, that don't make a whole lot of fucking sense, because if that was the case, why'd you gay up her in the first place? If you were actually thinking that, hey, Becky, because Becky came up with this idea, if you actually thought Becky had this good idea and you thought it was going to work, and then you decided to finagle her ass into a position to give her $2,500 to come back to the LCU, then why'd you fuck her? Or why'd you fuck her over? Let's say that. let's say that. Why'd you end up screwing her over?
I couldn't imagine losing Roxy. You lost Savage. You lost some of your biggest supporters. And the ones that are remaining, you attack. Becky is now attacking her remaining fans. Okay. She's now attacking her remaining host. I mean, this is insane. This is a time, Becky, where you need support. You need support. You stop attacking the people that you have left. Stop. So the VTuber shouldn't stream because you're not in a place to deal with any of this. I got an idea. Get the fuck off the internet, Becky. Maybe not watch the stream. Maybe not watch the stream. Like, you know, if you're not in a good place to deal with this, you probably shouldn't be watching. Yeah. When Boogie did this to me, I had to do a wellness check on him. Mm-hmm. You know, this is not how to resolve this. All right. How to resolve this is to reflect on the things that you did that are wrong, the people that you lied to, manipulated, betrayed. All right. Go through the whole series of events. It all starts with a gross, disgusting lie that we laughed. 68. But it all starts with a gross, disgusting lie that we laughed at her dead uncle, which just is not true. And then she used that to build her network. She used it to get Roxy to quit here. She used it to run the Keem is the devil campaign. You know, you got to be accountable for that. You got to tell your audience that that's not true. You have to. All right. How can anyone trust you? And how can you grow? How can you get a second chance? How can you get that redemption that you desperately need? How are you going to get that without taking accountability? It's not going to happen.
The extreme mental illness that's on display here, though, is fascinating. And a lot of people are like, I see 5150 calls. Let our friends and family make that call, right? Like, that's not for us. We're at the internet. We don't do that. But she does need help. You're not wrong about that. You know, and if her parents are patting her on the back and saying, "Oh, you're good, you're fine right now," and something's amiss.
$20.
Do you think Becky would just burn it all down at this point? Like, is there any coming back? Like,
I asked Becky if she wanted to do that show.
What show?
You know, the Keemstar Becky show.
When was this? And why?
What? Yesterday.
No, I don't buy this.
Super chatted $20.
I did.
As a small.
I don't know, Boogie. I'm not prepared to fall for this again.
what?
What? What do you mean?
Well, let's unpack this.
Think about this. The Keem and Becky show. When?
Why? Why would you do this?
Where?
Why?
When? Where?
And why and how?
Well, if Becky can get her shit together,
She won't.
Can't.
if she can,
She won't.
and she can actually find some success with a real fan base,
All right, come on, quit joking.
I'm serious.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a serious point in there somewhere, but you told a lot of really funny jokes. But like, keep going.
Okay, just listen to me. Hear me out. If Becky can get her shit together and get a fan base going, all right? Look, she's the one that pitched me this idea. And I like it, right? I do like it. Because, dude, somebody said the new Frenemies that obviously would not be called Frenemies, right? But yeah, it would be similar to that.
You know, Keem, I should be very upset because a lot of things are clicking right now. I should be very upset with you, but, and I am. In fact, I am. But I'm gonna suppress it, and I'll tell you why. Because everyone was very upset when you chose to continue to work with me. So I can't, motherfucker, dude, oh my God, I cannot. You holy shit. And I can't say shit. I can't.
Boogie,
I can't say a goddamn thing about it.
I think he's trolling.
Say something for me. I think he's trolling.
I think he's trolling. I'm not prepared to fall for this again.
Why is everyone
not after what happened last week, and you kept me in the dark, and I fell for the whole gimmick. I'm not prepared to fall for this again.
Okay.
Either he's telling the truth and it's going to work out perfectly.
He's telling the truth. I guarantee it.
Okay, why is Roxy texting me saying, lose my number?
At Arzen.
Who said lose the number?
Roxy said lose your number because you said out loud you're considering working with Becky.
Well, dude, Becky's got a lot of work to do in order for this to all happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what he's doing. He's trying to help somebody. It's what he does. It's what this motherfucker does. It's what he does.
Keem, I respect it, but no. Please, no.
Well, she just betrayed her whole fan base, right?
Yeah, and that's her problem.
I know, but if she could get her shit together and build up if she could build up the BBU to be something, right? That sets the stage for a Frenemies type show, right?
So let me make sure I understand. The thing that you just spent 3 days out of last week making us panic about, that you worked so hard to burn down, you want to now rebuild brick by brick so that you can make something for the LCU.
I can help her, but she's got to build her own shit up.
She went out of her way to copy your business model, and you think that she's going to be able to do that on her own? Like the for real this time.
Okay, the chances of her actually like getting her shit together and like being a somewhat decent person and taking accountability is like slim to none. But
correct.
But
so you're saying this out loud as a troll. You're definitely doing this as a troll.
What if she does?
I know why he's doing it.
Guys, what if she does? What if she gets her shit? Welcome to Cash Cow. Look at all the new Cash Cows. See, they like the idea. And by the way, I didn't look. Yes, Frenemies was Trisha Paytas and H3, and that was their thing. But I did Frenemies first. It's called the Bait It Podcast. Me and Clown. Go look it up. I did that way first. But anyhow,
CD, he's doing what he does, which is he's trying to give somebody a path to redemption. He did it with Fousey. He's done it with everybody that's ever burned him.
Now that idea ain't shit. I mean, the idea wasn't shit initially anyway, let's be honest. But in 6 months or a year, no one's gonna give a fuck about that idea. It's not it. Keem and Becky are trying to get into these little podcasts, like the Cancel podcast with Tana Mojo and that one racist chick, something Brooke. Whatever. They're trying to get into those like meme ass fucking podcasts and shit that usually do well for a while until someone ends up digging dirt up on somebody else, and then you find out they got a bunch of shit in their closet because all these people perpetually live online. It's not gonna go nowhere. I promise you, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's dead in the water. It's DOA already. And if Keem really thinks that Becky's gonna build up her fucking viewer base to make that shit happen, which she might, but by the time that she actually gets there, is she really gonna want to do that with you? Why? She can't trust you. You've already made it very clear that she can't trust you. You've already made it clear that you're extremely vindictive. So in any type of case, you'll fuck her over at the first chance she gets. And yeah, even though she'll sell her ass and her soul for fucking money, short-term gains for what? Long-term losses? Nah, I don't think so. So that's my initial thoughts on that. Like I said, I'll put some clips in where Keem talked to Boogie about it and thought it was a wildly good idea and all this bullshit. The reality is it's not. It's a stupid idea. It's a dumb idea. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, what killed Frenemies was the success of the show. And the fact that there was a power dynamic. And truth be told, and the thing is Trisha and Ethan were far more closer to being equals than Keemstar and Becky. And truth be told, Keemstar and Becky are kind of just the broke fucking RC Cola copy of Pepsi or Coke, which is Frenemies. That's all it is. It's gonna be targeted, and it's gonna be presented as low end, low wage content. Not because they're broke, because that's their humor level, and that's the kind of the range of their thinking compared to other shows of Frenemies caliber. That's just the reality of it. Keem wants something easily digestible, right? Quick laughs, quick memes, quick clips. Frenemies, for some people anyway, I don't think so much of this, but for some people, supposedly they actually had, I don't want to call it meaningful content, but they had at least there was some real thought that came out of it. It wasn't just entertainment. Keem's not capable of doing that right now. He damn sure ain't capable of doing that with Becky. And Becky's so mentally unfucking stable at the moment. It's not gonna work. Like I said, if they actually launch it, first few episodes, people will watch it out of morbid curiosity. After a while, it'll grow stale. And then eventually it'll fade out. That is what that is. Keep in mind, and because I actually did a little bit of research on this, a little bit. When Frenemies ended up disappearing, or when it ended up failing, I should say, or falling apart, they were getting into merch deep, and there was a lot of money out there in merch. There was a lot of money to be made. Crazy money. And then who knows if they could have been able to go into touring and all that bullshit later. But that merch cash grab would have been something. That'd have been something to say, especially since Ethan's husband, or Ethan's wife. Sorry, I was thinking about Mudahar and that gay experience he has going on right now. Hila has her own. She has her own clothing line, doesn't she? It's called Teddy Fresh or some shit. But allegedly, most of that shit has been plagiarized off of fucking Wish, and off of what's that other site that people who come up with creative stuff and they can put it online? Etsy. Yeah. So supposedly she's been accused of fucking plagiarism over that bullshit. So I don't think anything ever really came out of it, or if they did, they settled. But if anything happened, of course. But there's that. There's no place for that. Frenemies is. I'm not saying it can't come back. I won't say that it can't be done. It just can't be done by Keem and Becky. Sorry. The two of you are gonna have something else. Truth be told, if you want a Frenemies and you want it within lolcow, if you want it adjacent to lolcow, theoretically you should get Lebrowski and you should get Becky to do that together. That's what you should do. That might actually work, at least for a little while. I would much rather watch that than Becky and Keem, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And the two of you have way too much dirt on each other anyway, and too much bullshit that you don't want to get out, and both of y'all are sensitive. Nah, that's not going nowhere. But anyway, what do you guys think? How do you guys feel? If you guys even care. But that's what that situation is. Like I said, I'll have someone edit in some of these clips so you guys can see it in context and get an idea of what I'm talking about. It'll be over a couple days. The days themselves really don't matter. I'll just make sure that they're in order. And you guys can take your pick of the litter and see what you think about it. But it's not going to work. It's not going to succeed. Truth be told, Keem basically, I hate to word it like this, but he basically killed it in its crib from Jump Street. You know what I'm saying? And then the fucked up thing is, wasn't that the lore that Keem used to get Becky to come back to LCU? And then you ended up burying her ass with it. Now you're still thinking about actually doing it? Fucking dumb as hell. Anyway, what do you guys think? How do you guys feel? Let me know if you feel anything. And like I said, I'll have the clips I'll have it somewhere in all of this before this point, so you guys kind of catch the references. Anyway, this has been, I'll name this segment later, GTG Spits That Grease. Like I said, lolcows are not people. they're not people. Keemstar is a shining example of being a lolcow and how he treats lolcows. So if you don't believe me, believe what he does to people and whatnot. Believe what he does to his own people. Let me say it that way. And I think that right there is the tail of the tape. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Later, people.